I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?
Peace, family. It's so good to be with you guys tonight. Excuse me. So I was backstage talking to Mfundishi. I had to tell him to stop because he was saying too many good things. And I was like, no, you got to tell this to the people because I don't want to, I want to have a real reaction to you. And I mean, if you know Mfundishi, he is very animated, but this brother knows his stuff. He gets you thinking. You're like, wait, okay, that don't make no sense. And every time I talk to him, I'll listen to what he's saying, and then like maybe I don't know, a couple hours later, I'll can't be doing anything. I'm like, wait, Mfundishi said such and such, and it's like I'm always like thinking about all the things that he's saying and how they just ring true all the time. So before we get started, I would just want to say peace to everyone that's in the chat already. I see my girl Rashamela Combo, longtime HAPI supporter. That's what's up. We have Lee. Again, these are all of our people that's always around. That's what's up. Always First Class Media, Sage, Abodi, Compassion and Mercy. Okay. You know what? I think maybe I need to change my name. Because you guys have some really nice names up in here. Son of Light. Like, okay. All right. Before I just go into all the things that HAPI is doing, I want to first just give a shout out to everyone who has supported us at the or with the HAPI merchandise store. Let me tell you, you guys are diehard fans. We appreciate it. And for anybody that don't know, you guys can actually just go to hapifilm.com. I'm gonna put it up right here. We have everything. We have the HAPI DVD. Yes, there is a HAPI DVD for you guys that don't know. We actually did a whole movie, and it's called HAPI, The Role of Economics in the Development of Civilization. Our guest here tonight, Mfundishi, he's in this film, but he's actually in 2 of the 3 films that Taki Grant has done. So he is also in The Tekken, and he is in our current documentary, HAPI. So you can just head on to our store. You can pick up copies. There's 3 films: Nubia, The Untold Story, The Tekken with Mfundishi, and HAPI. Bundle it up, then you can get you a nice t-shirt. We have posters, and let me tell you why those posters are important. If you are going to be with us for the One Africa conference that is happening in Detroit, okay, is happening in Detroit, April 30th and May 1st, you want to have your HAPI poster so you can get everybody there to sign it. It is going to be fabulous right there. One Africa tickets, go to hapifilm.com. And we have some exciting news tonight. We just added 2 more people to the conference. So we have Miss Shahrazad Ali. Yep. She will be at the One Africa conference, Power in Unity. We also have Kaba Kamini. Yes, at the One Africa Power in Unity. So it is going to be lit. That's what the young people say. They say everything's lit. All right. So not only do we have Mfundishi Jhutyms, he's going to be laying it down. We have Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Asar Imhotep, Bayina Bello. Oh gosh, how do I forget everybody's names? Dr. Susan Tata, Shahrazad Ali, Kaba, Professor James Small. All of these people are going to be in the house talking April 30th and May 1st. So if you have not gotten your ticket, I don't know what you're waiting on. Just go to hapifilm.com. It's so important. And when Mfundishi comes on, we're going to actually talk about that first, just why we should be supporting each other. But this is the Power and Unity Conference. So please go to hapifilm.com and get your tickets. If you are not like in the Detroit, metropolitan area, you can actually get the live stream. It's all about the live stream, really, because I mean, you need to do, if you can do both, that's cool. But the live stream is nice because you can be at your home. You can invite your family. Well, your family should be with you, but you can invite them too. But have everyone sit down and watch it. It's gonna be 2 days of straight fabulousness, if that's a word. You're going to be enlightened in a way, and we're going to have a real conversation and talk about real things that we can do in terms of power and unity, right? Because it's not just, just us here, but it's all of our brothers everywhere throughout the world. And so that is why we are having the One Africa Power Conference, Power and Unity Conference, so that we can actually sit down and have a real conversation about how we need to work together. So please go to One Africa tickets. Go to HAPIfilm.com and get your One Africa tickets. Now, if you want to show, and we got this straight from King Simon, show your HAPI love via Cash App right there is $HAPIfilm. And we want to thank everyone who contributes to this, because this is how we pay the young people who run our store. This is how we pay the graphic artists to create memes and to do all these things that it takes to have a platform and to have a movement. Because the HAPI movement is a real thing. It's happening. You need to be part of it. But all of these things cost money. And so when you donate, it doesn't even matter what you donate. It goes in the pot, and this is how we can pay people who look just like us. And one other thing, you need to sign up for the newsletter, which is at our website. You can get everything done at the website, HAPIfilm.com. You can join our newsletter, which is really cool because once a month we put out this, I call it like a document. We talk about whatever's happening with HAPI. We honor a Black economic innovator who has laid the foundation for us to be where we are. We always support a Black business. We have a health article, and then we have some financial one-on-one news that we put in there. Everyone who has submitted their business to be part of our commemorative book for the One Africa Conference, they will now be featured in this newsletter. So this newsletter goes out to thousands of people. And so you want to be part of it, because whenever we break something or something's happening, we always put it in the newsletter and send our email subscribers the information first. So please make sure you guys are signed up right there, the newsletter, HAPIfilm.com. All right. I also want to say, we have Gregory, we have Ramosis in the house, Yvonne and Cheryl Rogers. All right. It's nice to see you guys. All right. So without further ado, we are going to invite Mfundishi to join us. Hey, Mfundishi.
It's your homie, Uncle Johnson Neb.
Yes.
I'm delighted to be here.
So delighted to have you. We missed you last time, but you know what? You're doing 1,000 things. Like, I don't think people understand. If you're not writing a book, if you're not running you have a lot of classes. You teach Madhu Nature, herbology, Crystallography. You have a clothing line. Like, you are doing some stuff. So we're so happy to see you today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So, we were talking backstage before we got started about this whole idea of power and unity. Like, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's simple. It's like when the hand is like this, if I try to break the wall with my fingers like that, that's going to be very difficult. But if I take the hand and pull it into a fist, bam, I go right through the wall. Okay. So there's power and unity of us coming together as a fist. Okay. Even the word Kupagani Ngumi means the striking mind, the striking body, the striking fist. Okay. So your mind, your body, and your fist all coordinated. We as an African people it's like we are this dynamic crystal. I'm going to talk about crystal today. We're this dynamic crystal, like something like this here, right? And this crystal got shattered by foreigners who come in. They were greedy, fighting over our stuff. And these pieces went all around the world. And so Africans are everywhere now. We're in Australia. We're in Canada. We're in Europe. We're every place that you can think of. So we're scattered. And even on the African continent, our culture is scattered. and our language is scattered. And so there's something called operational unity. Operational unity means we come together on what we foremost have in common, and that we are the original people on the planet. We are the founders of math, science, engineering, architecture. Civilization as we know it is an African concept. So we need to really be clear about that. We were writing while other people were still in caves or had came into being yet. So that's how deep this is. The Shango bone has mathematical problems on the base 10 going back 30,000 years. I don't think Neanderthal was doing calculus.
Okay, I don't think so.
So let's be real about that. Okay, that's how deep we are as a people. We got the Adam's calendar in South America and South Africa that goes back 70,000 years. We got Noctiplier that's even 7,500 BCE. Okay, most people had not even recovered from the Great Flood, and the only real thing shaking and baking on the planet was ancient Kosh. And so Kosh is the parent of ancient Kemet. Kosh is the parent of Sanskrit and the so-called what we call Middle East today. That's from ancient Kosh. The Indian culture, the Dravidians coming out of ancient Kosh. There's a great book by Drusilla Houston called The Wonderful Ethiopians. People try to get a hold of this book. It gives you some background on what's going on in ancient Kosh. Like Canaan, that's one of the first great cities in the Mesopotamia area. Canaan is created by Nimrod. Nimrod is the son of Cush. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you just a little background here. We some serious people. So we talked about earlier, like, why were we kicked out of Egypt? Because that's basically almost what was happening, right?
You know what? Listen, no, okay. I already know that there's certain things elders can say and young people can't say. So I'm going with you.
So everybody is upset when African people got themselves together. I just need to say that. Because we know that they've been stealing from us. Everybody. The Asiatics, the Europeans, the Native Americans, everybody has borrowed our stuff.
Absolutely.
And so when we wake up, we know that's our stuff. Because we know what our stuff look like. You know what your stuff look like.
Yeah.
We know what our stuff look like. And they upset. So they get upset. So we come to Egypt and we talk about we are the original Kemites. That these statues on the walls look like me. These statues on the wall look like you. And we say we are the black people. Kemetu means the black people. Ramech means the original people. So we're saying that. And so the Arabs don't want to hear that. Europeans don't want to hear that. But they got Yul Brennan and people like that playing Ramses II. No, they don't want to hear that. Egyptology don't want to hear that. Egyptology was created to keep black people confused and disconnected from Northeast Africa.
Absolutely.
It's a club. It's like the Ku Klux Klan club. Okay, the Egyptology is designed. Look, they steal words for a shin. They still use the word cartouche, which is French. They talk about a cartridge bullet. Why are we doing that? People talking about, oh, look at my cartouche. That ain't no cartouche. That's a shin. We still call it Ramses the 12th, Ramses the 13th. Ain't no Ramses the 12th and 13th. Every king got their own individual name. I'm sorry, I got a roll going on. I'm just
No, because let me tell you, see, I don't think people know. Okay, if you just take a class with Mfundishi, and let me put up his information, okay? Because I remember I took the first class, and like the first day he was saying stuff, I was just looking around. I was like, wait, what? It's like you have to relearn everything that you thought you knew, because you start looking at things differently. You start looking at symbols different. When you're looking at Target, you're like, oh my God, that symbol's our symbol. Yes. Right there. Look at the map.
People's problem is this. They're upside down, inside out, and backwards. That's the map of the world. You've been looking at the map like that, upside down. So now let me say this. If you're upside down, inside out, and backwards, I can tell you anything, and you can't get it together. And so we got to get a proper spatial perspective. Once you got your proper spatial perspective, now you know what direction to go in. African people, our proper spatial perspective has to be African-centered. That means that you don't dislike anybody else. You just love African people first. That's all. Ain't nobody talking about disliking Europeans. Some of my best friends have friends who are Europeans. I don't have a problem with that. Okay. So we just got to love each other. That's what we talk about, pro-Black. This conference in Detroit is about that. It's about us coming together from all walks of life and showing solidarity and unity as an African people, taking back our own scholarship. We are the greatest scholars on the planet.
Yes.
We created scholarship. The Greeks called what we taught them philosophy, the love of wisdom. We called it deep thought. Okay, deep thought, going down this tunnel of infinite reservoir of knowledge. It's not what you stuff in, it's what you bring out. And so that's what our ancestors were talking about. You are part of the creator. Therefore, the Akashic Records is available to everybody. All that ever has happened, all that will happen, all that is happening now.
Yes. And
when you have your right mind, you can tap into it. That's why they don't teach meditation in school. They don't want African. What you do on the football field and on the basketball court, if you did that in the corporate office, they wouldn't have a job. If you did that in the banking industry, they would be broke. Okay? So they can't let you have an even start with them because they know they wouldn't stand a chance. Your creativity is off the hook. Just like chlorophyll is to melanin, like carbon is to minerals. So you have the mineral domain, which carbon is the base, which is black. You have the plant domain, which is chlorophyll, which is green. And then you got the animal domain, which is melanin, which is black and shades of black. And so you have the ability to synthesize sunlight. And I know some of y'all acting like the Europeans, putting sunblock on and running around with an umbrella. Okay, you need some vitamin D. That's the only way you get vitamin D is from Ra, the sun. So get that sunblock off your face and put that umbrella away. Okay, unless it's raining. Okay, but don't be blocking the sun. All right. So come to Detroit and support us. Support yourself. That's what you're really doing.
Exactly. Yes, because when we're talking about it was the people that attacked what we were doing were people that looked like us too. It wasn't just these certain type of people, but they were some people, unfortunately, that looked like us.
You got gatekeepers.
Exactly. And so that's why it's like if we, if it's an attack on one of us, it's an attack on all of us. And this is why, and it, initially, we were, I can't even, maybe disappointed. I can't even think of the word when we had to, cancel and reschedule. But then as we started thinking about it, we was like, this is actually even better because now we can really spread out and make this a real conversation about coming together. And we even changed the name. And so it's Power and Unity. And we have all walks of life coming to grace this this virtual stage in a sense, because, you guys will be, some of you will be, looking at us on live stream and some will be in person. And if you are, just a little note, because I see someone in the chat asked about this, George did. So if you are going to purchase the live stream ticket, and we will keep it up there for a couple of days. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, it ain't gonna be up there for weeks. Okay, it will be up there for a couple of days, and we really want people to prioritize sitting down with your family, sitting down with some kids. They don't even have to be your kids. Just sit down with somebody and really, get this, because you have Mfundishi, you're gonna have Kaba, you have Shahrazad Ali, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Rosin Jeffries, you have Professor Small. All these people are coming together so that they can deliver their individual messages that all fit together under the umbrella of Power and Unity. So it's important that you guys are in the house to see that. One thing I was going to say that I didn't actually talk about at the beginning. So after, we have the One Africa Conference. It's April, and I just put the link in the chat. It's April 30th and May 1st, 2-day conference. Now, on Saturday, we are going to actually have a gala. It's the HAPI Gala. Now, let me tell you about the gala. Initially, we wanted to, we were going to, try to throw this big old thing. And then, we're looking at, just kind of figuring out how can we monetarily make all these things happen. And so I'm talking to the brother Ron Spears, who was on the show last week. He actually did a whole rites of passage in Mfundishi about your using your book as a guide for his rites of passage. Then they take all these kids from Detroit. Yes. He takes all the kids from Detroit and takes them to West Africa, and they do this whole big thing. So I'm talking to him and I'm telling him, that we're going to find this nice space, this cabaret spot. And I'm from Detroit. And, he's from Detroit too. So Ron's like, listen, no, you have all these elders coming down. They have to be in a place that can rise to the occasion. So he spoke with his church, Hartford Baptist Church, and they decided to sponsor our gala, which is fire. So it's going to be at the Charles Wright Museum. Now, I'm telling you, if you are in the area and you want to get your ticket to the gala, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Mfundishi is going to not only be presenting, but he's going to have his clothing line there. See, I don't know if you guys know that Mfundishi has a clothing line. He's always, every time you see him, he's always fly. He got the matching. It's like he always has like the whole matching outfit. So I guess he was like, well, I don't know. Mfundishi, what made you say, let me just get a clothing line together?
Well, you know what? I would do certain lectures someplace, and the poster would go out and everything, and people would come to, and they would say, Mfundishi, that blue outfit you had on. I was like, did you hear the lecture? You're talking about my blue outfit. Did you hear what I had to say? No, man, that blue outfit was fire.
Yeah.
Can I get that? So I kept getting things like this. No, man, it was the orange outfit. It was
a red, black, and green. Let me tell you, you got that red, black, and green outfit. I'm like, that is fire. Like you need to make a girl version of that because that's fire. But go ahead.
Yeah. So that's how I decided to come up. I said, look, well, you can't get mine. Okay. I'll make you something similar, but you can't get mine. You can't have, the wings and flying all over the place with me. But I'll get you something similar. So I decided, all right, let me go ahead and do this. So people have been sweating me for about 20 years. So I said, okay, I'm finally going to do it. And now I got a woman's line too. The woman's line is not on the set yet. It's done, but I haven't taken the pictures of it yet. But
okay.
But they'll see
some of those out at the little One Africa conference. Like, what's good?
Yes, I have the women's and the men's wear out at the conference.
Okay. So you guys can get your glad rags right from Mfundishi, and then come on to the gala. I'm gonna put and if you guys go to happyfilm.com, both tickets are there. And if you're in the area and you want to vend, the tickets are all there too. You just hit conference tickets and all the tickets come up. I put that in there. So this is, it's just like I cannot wait. One, because I get to see you quite frequently because you're in New York and I'm always chasing you down. So I get to see you a lot, but it's going to be nice to see all of you guys together because when we see you guys all together, it's usually on Zoom. And so to see you actually in person, that's going to be nice. It's going to be nice. So, all right, family. So the reason why we brought, and thank you, I want to thank everybody who's given us money in the super chat and the Cash App. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carol. It was Leo earlier, and there was another. Oh, Carol. Oh, two Carols. All right. Oh no, same Carol. Okay, Carol. Oh, I like your 2 donations. Okay, we need to follow Carol's lead right now. That's what's up. And Lee, thank you so much for the Cash App. It literally goes a long way. For real. So one of the things I wanted to bring you on and you're going to talk about is your whole Crystallology.
Right. So
Mfundishi actually has a Crystallology class tonight. Okay, so he's gonna give us a little preview, but if you go to his website, you can sign up for this class. It's pretty dope. I learned so much when I took it. So just tell us a little bit about why you decided to do this type of class. And what does it mean? Like, what does crystals mean to us?
Right. I appreciate the question and the understanding so that we can begin to have a commonality of what's going on. You see, I teach the Kemetic spiritual system says in order for us to understand our relationship to the creator, which is part of us, is that we need to understand all aspects of the creator. And so we understand there is the spirit world. Everything is energy. Nothing is not without energy. There's no such thing as a void. Everything has energy. It's giving off energy and receiving energy. So everything is alive. So you could be part of everything. That's why you can move a rock with your mind, because you and the rock are part of one. It's energy connecting with other energy. Kinetic energy, where you can move objects with your mind. Why can you do that? You can do that because you are all part of the same thing. Okay. And so we have 5 domains. Spirit domain is number 1. Everything is spirit. Number 2, from the spirit comes the mineral domain. Mm-hmm. The sun is a mineral. The planets are minerals. The earth is a mineral. And those same minerals make us up as human beings. We got iron, we got nickel, we got all of the stuff inside of us. And you need some of these minerals in order to sustain life at a high level.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that hopefully nobody's arguing. I didn't miss nobody there. Okay. Then from that mineral domain, you have the plant domain. And plants come from the minerals. They get their food from the minerals. Your nourishment in the plant comes from the minerals. That's why when you deplete the minerals in the ground, the vegetables no longer have the substance they're supposed to have. Like I heard something today that an apple, when you eat an apple today, you'd have to eat 10 apples to be equivalent to the nutrition from an apple from 1950.
Wow.
That's how much they've depleted the soil and stuff like that. So you can see this importance of minerals. Okay, so sometimes we're eating good food, good vegetables, but it don't have the right minerals in it because it's been depleted. You know, you got plantation farming. You got the same crops going year and year and year and year, and doesn't give it a chance to refertilize itself, referbilize itself. You know, so plants is the second domain, and plants is our food and our medicine. So that's where the herbology comes at. Probably everybody's grandparents here probably had a little herb garden. Anytime you got sick, mom was giving you some castor oil or some nasty stuff down your throat. Okay. Oh no, mom. Yeah. I remember I used to get Vicks down, you know. If I sniffle, Vicks. And then the tea, all the herbal teas, you know. And so we need to know, and that we've lost that. We think that Rite Aid and CVS and the drugstore, listen to the name, the drugstore has the cure. No, you got some drugs. Okay. And those drugs, the third leading cause of death in America is drugs from a drugstore. Not cocaine, marijuana, or anything, pharmaceutical drugs. So the pharmaceutical company is getting rich for killing you. And you paying them to kill you. But it's a slow death because they got to string it on and get as much money as they can out of you before they wake you out. Okay. So I need people to understand that. So you need the plant kingdom domain is third on that list. So spirit, then mineral, then the plant. So you know your herbs, you know all of that. Then you go to the animal domain. So I say this, all animals were here before we were. All of them. We're the last guy on the block, human beings. Homo sapiens sapien. We're the last guy on the block. We're the newbie on the planet. And we're tearing it up.
Yes, we are.
Because we don't know nothing about the spirit, the mineral, or the plant, or the other animals. All the animals were here. They have mastered how to survive and how to flourish. And they actually even help the ecosystem. The plants contribute to the ecosystem based upon their habits of their culture. Okay. So when you kill the animals, you offset the ecosystem. And you miss some knowledge that you could have learned by studying those animals. Absolutely. You're too busy eating them. I saw a commercial where a lady had her little daughter at the zoo, and there was a chicken there, roosting a chicken. And she asked the little girl, "What's that?" And instead of the little girl saying a chicken or rooster, she said, "Oh, that's chicken McNuggets." She didn't even realize that was inhumane. The plant, that's chicken McNuggets. That's the mentality we have, you know. Yes, baby, you know. So you see where we are. Okay, so we're in bad shape, and we think we got to eat meat. We don't even have a digestive system that's compatible with eating meat. We got a very short digestive tract. We don't have the teeth that's ripping and tearing. If you eat meat, you should be able to eat it raw.
Oh. Okay.
All other meat eaters eat it raw. They got a power stomach acid that can dissolve it. And then whatever's not dissolved is eliminated quick because they got a short digestive tract. And it's eliminated quick. You got this long digestive tract that's like can go out to the block, right? Go around the house.
Yes.
Stays in there and putrefies and decay, and then you wonder why you're sick. Okay, all right. So we got to clean our diet up. That's why you can't think right. You're eating the wrong foods. All right, so I don't want to stay on that too long. But anyhow, so that's the animal dating. We're supposed to be learning from the animals. When you look at ancient Kemet and they have the totems and the masks and stuff like that, it's because they understand certain powers that the animals have. And you want to be able to duplicate that in your human persona. Because you are a divine spiritual being having a divine human experience.
Yes.
Don't leave the word divine out. You're a divine spiritual being having a divine human experience. Okay. Then comes the human domain. The human domain is the culmination of the spirit, mineral, plant, animal, human. You are a combination of all of that. But we crazy because we don't know none of that. And so we walk around retarded, killing each other and destroying the planet.
Damn.
So come to One Africa so you can learn about who you are.
Well, that's a good segue. You know what? I was actually in my mind. I was like, that's why they gotta come. Let me like, it's nothing like.
Yes.
You know, we keep hearing these things, and you know, it's now that we're coming out this COVID, whatever pandemic thing that's happening. We have got to really get in each other's face and get this knowledge, but it's not just about listening, it's actually about doing stuff. Right. And the good thing about this conference is that everybody's going to be saying, you know, telling us some things that we can actually do. So it's not just, we're not going to be just pontificating like, oh, it's so nice. And you know, the crystal. No, you're going to like get some, this is what we need to do type of information. And can you just tell everybody what your topic's going to be about?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
The symptomatic thought process on how to read the Medu Neter, you know, using a symptomatic approach on how to use, see, everything is symptomatic or symbolic. Symbolic means something that you just learned and you can't prove it. It's just somebody told you about it. Like Jesus walked on water. That we know that didn't happen. I don't know how many preachers got drowned trying to duplicate what Jesus was doing. Okay. No, I'm seriously. Okay, because that's symbolic. That was just a concept. That's not real.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Symptomatic means that I can prove it. I can show you. Like when we talk about the kings of ancient Kemet, listen, I can take you to their pyramid, to their tomb, their casket, their statue,
absolutely,
their mummy. I can show you all of that. It's concrete. I can show you their writings. It's not like the stuff in the Bible. Nobody in the Bible ever read the Bible, but they want you to read it. So that means they ain't going to heaven either. Okay, all right. So I'm just trying to get you to understand this. Okay, so symptomatic means that I can prove it. It's intrinsic. It's concept. It's part of me. I can feel it.
Yes.
You know, it's not a belief system. It's I know. Because I am part of that. Okay. So I'm going to be showing how you can break down the Medu Neter. Like even behind me, you see the word Medu Neter. So symptomatically, that's a walking stick of an elder. This is a flag that represents divinity. That which you cannot see as the wind is blowing it. So it's saying the wisdom of the elders are being personified and spoken from the ancestors. So Medu Neter, the divine words of the Creator, the divine words perpetrated through elders, wise elders, not just some old folks. So there's a difference between old folks.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know what? And we have to find out the hard way.
Right. You got some old fools. Okay.
Yeah.
An elder is a wise person who has been studying 30, 40 years and have taken the torch or the mantle of the ancestors and are perpetuating the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to keep you alive. Okay, so there's a difference.
You alive.
That's right. He's a lifeline. Your elders are your lifeline. When you cut off your elders, you just cut your lifeline off that connects you to the ancestors. When you get disconnected to the ancestors, then you're destined to be crazy before you die.
Yeah.
You're going to die anyway, but you're going to be crazy first. Okay. All right.
You said destined to be crazy.
Yes.
You are destined to be crazy.
Right, by design, because you just cut yourself off from the lifeline of the wisdom of your ancestors. You understand? Culture, your language is an expression of your culture.
Yes.
And so when you're teaching the Medu Necha, that's our classical language. So now I got about 15 minutes. I want to talk about quickly. I want to talk about when we talk about the mineral of the planet. The planet produces basically 3 types of minerals or stones or rocks that you see on the surface. They're either intrusic, sediment, or metamorphic. Again, intrusic, sediment, or metamorphic. Inside of this hot molten lava, right? The volcano, the lava and the magma under the ground, as it comes up out of the volcano or comes up to the surface, if it cools fast, then it leaves very fine grain. So you have intrusic, this very like for example, obsidian. Obsidian is like volcanic glass. It's water hit it, it cooled very quick. So it's black, it's sharp. They use obsidian arrowheads and spearheads because it's so sharp and keen. There's nothing sharper. When they did operations in Kemet, they use obsidian knives. It's better than what we use today. Now today, your doctor used stainless steel knives and it leaves a jagged cut. The obsidian blade leaves a hairline cut so thin you can't see it. And so it's easy for it to heal. And so operations was even more better, I sound like Spike Lee, more better 3,000 years ago than it is today.
Okay.
All right. Because they understood the mineral domain. Okay. And so you have these intrusic rocks, like, and that's when it first comes up out of the ground and begin to solidify. So you have different. Then you have what we call sediment rocks. Sediment rocks sometimes are the intrusic rocks that have been weathered and layered, and animals have died on it, bones, feces, everything solidifies and it gets hard again, like sandstone. Okay. Sandstone is the bottom of the ocean, so you got the salt, you got planktons, you got bones, everything together. So you get from there, you get sandstone, and then you get limestone. So limestone and sandstone at one time was the bottom of an ocean. Okay, so you begin to see different. You'll see layers. You know, if you see a mountain like you're at the Grand Canyon and you see the layers like that, that's sediment. Okay, where, you know, where it's on top of each other. Okay, sometimes they can even tell the age of the planet through sediment. So certain time periods, there were certain elements on the earth, and that was trapped. So they can see from that point on, okay, that happened 30,000 years ago. You know, so they can tell, you know, time like that. Okay, from sediment plants. And then the third type is metamorphic. Metamorphic is either intrusic or sediment plants that's been reheated through heat, like magma and volcano, or like a fault. And that comes up and it reheats it. And now you see waves in it. Okay, you'll see waves in it, like for example, this is a lapis lazuli stone, and you see how smooth, and you see the waves in it. That's a metamorphic rock.
Wow, that's nice.
So that's metamorphic, you know, like you like here. Some rocks are growing right out of the ground. So I need to show you, you know, this is a crystalline.
Oh yeah, breathe in.
Crystalline amethyst.
Ooh.
Very rare and very expensive. Okay. Wow. And Father Nature did this. This is Geb. This is Geb's work. So this is not like man-made. This one is called fool's gold. It's glittery. This is pyrite. Glittery like fool's gold. Okay. So when they struck this, when you hit the mountain and you got that, you just knew you had made it rich. But you just got a whole bunch of iron. It's glittering like gold, but iron is valuable. Then you have something, the purple stone for your consciousness. This is amethyst. This is amethyst. This is an amethyst crystal. Now, the difference between a regular crystal and a rock is that you have developed a pattern. So the pattern, as the chemicals are formulating, there is a repeating pattern. So when you have these repeating patterns, that will determine one crystal from the next crystal. Okay, by the crystal. So a guy can put one of those optimum glasses on, and he can look down and he can see the pattern and say, "Oh, okay, that's so and so crystal," because he can tell the formula. You know that oxygen is
H2O.
H2O, or water is H2O, right? Oxygen is O6. You know, so just like that, elements like that, each crystal has their own formula like that. Okay.
So you know what, Mfundishi, who or when did we start looking at these crystals and document like what they like who did,
Africans are the first people to develop crystallology. Have you seen the so-called jewelry of the ancient Egyptians?
Yes.
That's all semi-precious stones. Tutankhamun's face is made from red granite. Red jasper. Queen T's face was yellow jasper. You see, look at this quartz crystal here. They used all it. So we're the first people to take crystals and to actually make sa out of it. Sa means spiritual protection. So each crystal gives off a vibration. That's what the Asians call chakras. We call it Sekam Shinra. So you got to know our stuff. Sekam Shinra. Sekam means your internal vital power. So a color determines a vibration. The difference between red and blue is the vibration waves.
Yes.
And so red will have you bouncing, hey, off the wall, and the blue will kind of put you kind of to sleep. You're like,
yes,
try to get your nap on now. Okay. Green will synthesize you and keep you, floating afloat. Brown keeps you grounded to the earth. You see that thing? Black is the essence of all things. It is strong. It's the protection.
The protection.
So sometimes they shoot out and they form crystals like that.
Wow.
That's rose quartz. That represents love. That's
love. Yes.
Love. Then you have these black. This is basalt. This is black tourmaline. It grows in slates. So you see, I got a big piece. And I keep it right near my door because I'm checking your energy as soon as you walk in my house. Okay. That's right. I got the crystals. I got a whole crystal table right in the doorway. Right. Wow. So before you get in, I didn't crystallize you. Then I spray you down with liquid crystal. Then I take my wand and wrap it around you. Then you can enter. You got to have your own insurance, y'all.
Yes. So, like, how do you work with crystals?
Look at that smoky quartz.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Right.
Wow. So, how do you work with crystals?
Well, you tap into it. You meditate. You see, when you meditate, you're listening to the Creator. When you pray, you are talking to the Creator within. You're not talking to a pie in the sky. Ain't nobody up in the sky listening to you. So I just need to get that straight, okay? That's that symbolic thought stuff. Ain't nobody up there listening to your prayers and your dreams, okay? Let me show you a symptomatic thing. When you see people at the lake, they drop the pennies, they flip coins like copper in the water, and then they make a wish. Ain't none of that coming true. They thought that's what Africans were doing. We were throwing copper pennies in the water to help purify the water and kill germs and pesticides. See, that's the difference between symptomatic thought and symbolic. You flipping the coin, I hope I get a new car. No, you better catch the subway. You better renew your subway ticket. Okay, and get a job. Okay, all right, flipping some coins is not going to help you. Okay. So symptomatic is concrete. I know what it is. I know dynamically what it is. And so once we understood the color of the crystal, once we understood the molecular structure, we knew what part of the body it tapped into. All this was done in ancient Kashan and ancient Kemet before the rest of the world was even awakened. And so this is new age for the Western world, for Europe and Eurasia. This is new age. This is old hat for us. So like I said, during the time of the first golden age, it was already old because it was done in ancient Kosh before Kemet even came into existence.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So, and we understood the hardness of the stones. There's a hardness index called Mohs hardness index, where diamond is the hardest element on the planet. That's number 10. Something like diorite is a 9. We were making statues out of diorite in ancient Kosh and ancient Kemet.
Wow.
Now, supposedly, if you got copper tools, you can't do that. So it shows you, I want to end with here. We understood these elements. Look at this piece of carnelian. Look at that. Wow. Okay. So we understood the composition of all of the elements in ancient time. So we can take aggregate, that's just the natural stones coming up out of the earth, and we can make any stone we wanted. Not only could we make stones from the aggregate, we could melt stones to reduplicate magma and lava. They would, for example, glass was created by taking sand and melting sand down into a liquid form and then cooling it and put it in slates, and we had glass. Okay, and so I teach this in my crystallography class, and my time is up. I got to get ready to go. Maybe we'll have a part 2 to this. You know, we'll see what your people ask. If they want to get more into it, come to mfundishijhutyms.net, sign up for my crystal class, and I do the same thing with herbology. I'm teaching you the herbs that's going to keep you live and well. I want you to be 70s and 80s like me, still be able to do backflips and wheel kicks and look 100 meters.
Yes, and listen, and looking good, because with his skin is, oh my God, Mfundishi's skin is beautiful. And look, if you're gonna be at One Africa, you're gonna be in Detroit, you will see his beautiful skin. But if not, if you're gonna be on the live stream, it will be, you know, in nice, 4K. So you'll be able to see how good this brother's skin looks. Oh my God. So go to Mfundishi Jhutyms, Jhutyms.net, and sign up for a class. He teach everything. Like, you know, this is part of us, you know, taking back our history. Thank you so much, Mfundishi. And yes, you're going to come back.
Telling the people to get my books. You want Spiritual Warriors Are Healers. That's like the Bible of Kemetic spirituality. You want Menchu Hotep in the Spirit of the Magi, Volume 1 and 2. It's the black one and the blue one. So make sure you get all of that. I have a new one coming out this summer. So
all right, there it is.
I want to say thank you very much. Mfundishi out.
Mfundishi out. I like that. All right, fam. Listen, you got it. You know, you're gonna have to come see this conference. It's gonna be fabulous. And let me just make sure everybody knows who's gonna be what. Now we have a new host. Okay. And we're in Detroit, and it only makes sense to have Dr. Ken Harris. If you go to our HAPI talks, we did the Detroit delegation, and he was one of the guests on that night. But he also runs the National Business League. And let me tell you about the National Business League. It's been around for over 100 years, and there's only been 12 presidents, and he's one. So this brother is going to be taking us through this 2-day just power and unity conference. That's going to be dope. So you got Dr. Ken Harris, who will be hosting. We have Shahrazad Ali, Kaba Kamini, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Asar Imhotep, Baina Bello, Jabari Ozazi. I forgot to say Jabari. How could you forget Jabari? That Jabari, he's also in the HAPI film. You got to check him out. From the Shrine of Ma'at. I love me some Jabari and his wife, Anika. Shout out to you too. So we're going to have Jabari there. And we're also going to have Professor James Small and Baina Bello. So that is going to be one hell of a lineup. You want to make sure you get your tickets. And we are working on, I see somebody asking about Dr. Abanga. So he's one of our oldest elders. And so we're working on Dr. Abanga, but his voice will be present. We can say that for that to be true. If you just go to our website, I'm going to put that up one more time so that you guys can and see this. And also, the big thing about this conference, One Africa Conference, we're going to also have a gala that Saturday night. So if you just go to happyfilm.com, you'll be able to get your tickets for that. This is Power and Unity. So if you're not in the Detroit area, just get the live stream. It's going to be fabulous. You can sit down with your family, and, you know, it's going to be up there for a couple of days. So, you know, just in case, you know, something happened, you couldn't watch all of it, or you want to rewatch something, you'll be able to do that. It is going to, we also, I'm so sorry, because I was just thinking, you know, about Mfundishi. Of course, he's going to be there. I didn't say his name, but he's going to be there. And he's also going to be having his line of clothing there. He's vending and presenting. He's doing it all. So you guys have got to come and get this energy. It is going to be an electrifying weekend, but it's also about us having a sacred space so that we can talk with our people and really get this thing going. It's power and unity. This is how we become financially independent as a community. This is how we're able to teach our kids what they need to know. This is how it all happens. It's first us knowing who we are, and we can only know who we are if we know our history. You know, we can't do it if we don't know, you know, where we come from. We can't do it if we don't know all the things that we've done, you know, that our ancestors have created for us. We can't, you know, it's hard for us to come together if we don't just know ourselves. So it's going to first start just with knowing ourselves. And we know we got Professor James Small, who is everything African sacred science. He's going to break all of that down. And then we have, once we start to know ourselves, then we can start working with others, because we've got to work with each other. There's Black folks all around the world. They're going to be tuning in. Our numbers look really good, but if you want to be in Detroit, you might want to get your tickets tonight because they're going to sell out pretty fast. And then you're going to have to be in Detroit looking at the live stream. And we don't want that to happen. So please make sure you just go right there to happyfilm.com and get your tickets. I want to thank everybody who contribute to our Cash App. Like I said, you know, that Cash App is super important because it helps us to be able to keep our money within our community, our HAPI community, and it helps us to start laying this foundation for the HAPI movement. And in closing, because sometimes, you know, a lot of people ask us, the HAPI movement, what's the HAPI movement? So the HAPI movement is comprised of 4 principles. The first principle is to love Black people, okay? Love Black people. The second one is to support Black businesses. And, you know, sometimes, you know, we support other businesses and they don't treat us all that great. We got Black businesses that do treat us great that we need to make sure that we support it all the time. And Black businesses need to support other Black businesses. That's another piece. The third principle is to become more financially astute with your money. It's way too much information out there for us not to know how to make money, how to make our money grow, you know, all those things. You can Google anything at this point. And then the fourth principle is to teach the youth the truth. It doesn't matter if we know information and we're not teaching anybody else. And there's kids all around. Kids are everywhere. They don't have to be your kids. We say that all the time. Everyone knows a kid in their community, 1, 2, 10 kids. And it's really about us passing this information on, teaching the youth the truth. So that's the HAPI movement. Okay. And if you are in the chat right now, and if you are down with the HAPI movement, I need for you guys to give a little thumbs up, a little something, a little heart emoji, something to show that you guys are down for the HAPI movement. So I just want to, in closing, just give you guys all the, I see Joelle Armstrong, Donna, just thank you so much. Sankofa Community Church. Yes. Greetings from Michael in Detroit. Yes, he's going to be in the house. That's what's up. And we see our host is in the chat, Dr. Ken Harris, right there. He is right there. Yes, yes. I so like to take credit for this, Dr. Harris, but this was actually given to us by Taki Grant. And he got it straight from the ancestors in terms of our mission right here. But yes, right there, love Black people, support Black businesses, become financially astute with your money, and teach the youth the truth. That is Dr. Ken Lee Harris. And if you guys are not following him on Facebook, you need to follow him on Facebook, because he actually puts up really good posts every day, like several of them. So make sure you are following him. He is the president of the National Business League. He is dope. And if you are going to be in the Detroit area and get to see this conference live, you'll be able to check him out. But also, if you're not, please tap into the live stream and please take advantage of this once in a lifetime event, because no one else is going to be doing this. This is one place where all our elders will be, and this is going to be just a fabulous weekend. So make sure that you guys are all tapped in. I'm going to put the website up one more time to make sure you guys know where to get these tickets. And the cool thing about this is that when you actually go onto our website, you can do everything. Sign up for the newsletter. We always send out stuff to our newsletter people first. If we got any type of deals happening, anything, newsletter people get it. You go to happyfilm.com, hit get connected, put in your email address. If you want to get any HAPI merchandise, okay, I'm just saying, if you just show up at the conference with some merchandise, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just saying you might want to get your HAPI merchandise. And you can also purchase your tickets for the One Africa Conference. Our DVDs are all there. We have the movie poster. You can just find out more about the HAPI movement. Everything is right there on happyfilm.com. So it has been a pleasure. Next week, we have, we're going to have a really interesting show. Showers Ali is going to kind of pop in for a little while and kind of grace us and tell us some things. And so please look out for that. But again, if you're part of the newsletter, then you'll know like what's going to be happening, who's going to be coming around. So I am going to, since Professor James Small is not here, and I always love closing with what he says, which is peace and blessings. So you guys have a good evening, and until next time.
I don't know what we can talk about in this nation without talking about white superiority, honestly.
Who defines the meaning of God also defines the relationship between economy and God.
African Americans spent $1.3 trillion last year, making us the 16th wealthiest nation in the world. Why have we not turned those riches into wealth to develop our community?